Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of S&M Sports Talk. I'm Rook and I'm here with Misty.
Hey everyone.
All right, so first and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. That's kind of weird to say, but happy Mother's
True.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
And if you're not a mom, call your mom and say happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
if your mom is not around, they know you mean it. It's all good.
There you go. Did you say another installment because you don't remember the episode number?
I don't remember the episode number. So truth be told, it's been a whirlwind of a ride for us. So obviously, my co-host got pregnant, and I'm just kidding. Okay, no, we're expecting, but also, it's our holy month, so we're fasting. So that's why our episodes are going to be a little bit sporadic, strictly because in the daytime I can't eat or drink anything, and anybody that does any speaking engagements, whether it's radio, podcasting, or even if they talk a lot for work, customer service or sales, you got to have a clear throat and you got to drink coffee and tea and all this stuff.
We were going to record earlier. I thought I would spare all of you from the.
Yeah, exactly. I think I clear my throat enough as it is. But anyways, all right, Misty, the credentials.
Oh yeah, so send us an email if there's something you want us to talk about, or if you just want to tell us how great you think we are, at snmsportstalk@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook and Instagram, SNM Sports Talk, or on Twitter, SM Sports Talk 1.
There we go. All right.
I was not prepared for that. Sorry.
So Sunday, May 12th, other than Mother's Day, and other than what? Before we talk about sports,
stop posting on Facebook, people.
I am sick and tired of all
We're
the
behind.
spoiler alerts. All right, so I've mentioned this before. We rewatched the whole thing. We were caught up except for season 8. We rewatched the whole thing, and we're at the end of season 7. And I now know 3 spoiler alerts. 2 are major and 1 is minor, and I don't understand why. And I totally get it. Social media and we want to share with our friends, also, and I totally get that.
Keep it to yourselves.
Look, when it's sports and it's a buzzer beater or a walk-off home run, that's a little bit different because those things are usually
those are live events.
Yeah, but for like Game of Thrones, because I am not caught up, just shut the hell up, please. Like, it's just so obnoxious.
As soon as we're caught up, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, we're gonna be caught up by Wednesday or Thursday.
Depends on how much other things will get done.
You know what? I want a personal vendetta.
Okay.
To the 4 people that have done the spoiler alerts on my social media page.
Oh, it's 4 different people?
Yeah. I want to. I gotta find some way to spoil it for them.
I don't think that's possible. You can't get access to the episodes early. Obviously, those people are
for sure,
watching live.
But I gotta find out some way to when they're not watching it live, oh man, Sunday night.
All 4 of them, you're gonna coordinate some master plan.
It doesn't have to be the same time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you can scheme on your own time.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna do a social media thing. I'm just gonna do a text. Be like, hey man, can you text me back? It's kind of an emergency. That way I know they're looking at the phone. Oh, what's going on? Oh, boom. Jon Snow killed Daenerys.
You know what? I know we're not caught up and we're really going off course here, but since I saw, you and I watched a YouTube video. It was interesting theories, but it was up to season 7, I think. So it wasn't spoiling anything, but there was that one that said there's some people think there's a theory that what if Arya didn't actually, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched.
Wait, should we say this?
Maybe should I not say it? Never mind. I'll talk about it later. Never mind.
So anyways, back to sports.
Scratch it, sorry.
Back to sports.
I mean, that was way back in season 4 or 5, but
right.
I'll leave it alone. Some people don't watch.
So
2 Game 7s today.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Mother's Day and Game of Thrones, those are all nice and everything, but we had 2 Game 7s.
Close Game 7s, both.
First and foremost, I want to just admit that I was wrong because Toronto and Philadelphia had their Game 7. I thought Philadelphia was going to be a first-round exit. They weren't. And I thought Toronto was going to be a second-round exit, which now they are not. They're going to the conference finals against Milwaukee. And this was an exciting game that I did not watch. I just don't like the teams. I don't like Joel Embiid. Don't like Ben Simmons. And, I had some prior things going on, so I caught a little bit on the radio at the very end. But yeah, I'm actually really shocked that Toronto's in the conference championship. It's going to be weird.
So I'm going to take it by what you just said that you don't think Toronto will fare well against the Bucks.
Not against Milwaukee, but you know what? Any team that has Kawhi Leonard,
you never know, right?
I'm always going to give them a puncher's chance. The guy.
But this is what he was brought to Toronto for, right? These situations, but like Game 7, like playoffs, high pressure.
But it's so crazy because he didn't even want to go to Toronto. He wanted to go to the Clippers. So for him to play this well, and he has had.
But does that mean he doesn't want to win, though, still?
Yeah, but he has been on a tear in the playoffs. Unbelievable performances. And, I was really sad with his departure with the Spurs because, although I'm a Mavericks fan, I really respect the Spurs, and I love the way they play the game. And that's
not all the Texas teams, just the Spurs.
And I really, we're going to get to the Rockets in a second, but I really appreciated the rivalry between the Mavericks and the Spurs over the years. There have been many Game 7s, many, conference championships, and the Spurs.
And it's always kind of like the Rangers Astros, like not ugly, not like it was always pretty friendly, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's I'm a big fan of Kawhi Leonard. I like him a lot. I understand maybe his last season in San Antonio with the whole quad issue. They're saying that he was medically cleared, but he didn't feel right, and he had like his uncle in his ear and all kinds of nonsense. But be that as it may, he was on a tear this playoffs.
I can't look at him the same since that video of him giggling.
Yeah, I know. That's a very weird laugh.
Poor guy.
But, this kind of goes with what I said 2 weeks ago was our last recording, I guess, that I just do not like Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Yeah. A lot of my friends that I've talked to this past week were like, how can you not like Joel Embiid? Guy's funny. He's a good baller. Blah, blah. Yeah, I think he's a good baller. But I think he is trying to be a little too funny because this reminds me of another center who had a lot of good skill but was just too funny. That was Dwight Howard. And I know that's a stretch. I know Joel Embiid is super talented and he's gonna do well in the league. But I just think, man, it's just something about him that rubs you the wrong way, and it's probably not even anything really tangible, but it's when you hear his interviews and all this stuff and you're just like, man, you know what? There's something about him that just annoys me. And that's how I always felt about Dwight Howard.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? I used to say a while ago, there's something about Kevin Durant that I do not like.
Yeah, that's true.
And you would get on to me. He's so nice.
He's a nice person.
Hey, I don't know what. He's funny. He does the commercials. He's a funny guy. Why are you like that? And now we talk shit about him like dang near every podcast. So sometimes, my point being, sometimes you're wrong, and also sometimes there's just something intangible that just you can't place it, but somewhere in the back of your mind someone's just like nails on a chalkboard to you.
This is very true,
and it always plays out.
Yeah,
almost always.
And I just I don't really know what it is, but I don't know, I just kind of feel like I remember watching Dwight Howard play, and it would be a serious, intense moment against a rival, to get in the playoffs, and they lose, and he'd be smiling.
So irritating.
Or he'd be like laughing, whatever. And then I remember like Philadelphia in Game 2 when they're killing Toronto. Well, I think it was Game 2. They're killing Toronto, and Joel Embiid is like, after every one of his shots that went in, he's doing a celebration. Like one was he did the Jet Terry arms spread open wings. He did like a brush off the shoulders, and I'm like, dude, you're about to tie the series up. You haven't won anything, and this is the attitude I get from Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
Wasn't he also one of the ones who got caught on a cell phone in the middle of the game? That was Joel Embiid, right?
Yep. This is the attitude I feel about Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. You haven't won anything, but you're puffing out your chest with the bravado and the celebrations and all that stuff. It's and God, this is gonna be a broken record. But it's like the Odell Beckham thing, like, one-handed catch in a game you lost. Right. Yeah, these crazy, stupid celebrations, where you're doing all these weird hip-hop dances that my body can't even contort that way. But you're doing all these things in games you lose, and you haven't won anything. And yes, individually you're a great player, but as a
doesn't
team,
mean anything if you can't win.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that series. on to the series that I was really amped about and I was really nervous about was Portland and Denver.
It
And
was okay until those last like 5 minutes or
oh
something.
man, it came down. It came down to, you know,
There was a lot of yelling at the TV.
last minute heroics. Like Dame Lillard had a really off game, but CJ McCollum picked up all the pieces. And
I heard a lot of, oh my God, why isn't Damian Lillard taking that shot?
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
never mind. It went in.
yeah,
Oh, never mind.
it's all good.
okay.
CJ. Oh man, CJ McCollum just he was playing lights out. He hit some really ballsy shots, you know, from the top of the key. Misty said he looks like Jaleel White from Family Matters.
Not Urkel. He looks like Stefan Urkel.
Yeah.
He really does. From the side, like there's something about his profile. I don't know. Y'all never see him the
If
same.
you
You're
have a
welcome.
chance to go to YouTube, you gotta check out the Steve Urkel dance.
I can put it on our Facebook page.
Do the Urkel. Do the Urkel. Oh my
I
god.
had the board game when I was a kid. It's probably still at my parents' house somewhere.
Nobody wants to hear about your lonely ass childhood.
It's not lonely. Anyway,
Who had the Urkel game?
I did.
Anyways, so my prediction is still strong. I predicted that the Trailblazers are going to represent the West in the finals, and that the Bucks will represent the East in the finals. And so far, so good. So now, Golden State lost Kevin Durant to what I thought was an Achilles tear. It ended up being a low calf strain.
Lucky for him.
Yeah. Well, I still feel like they're lying, even though, I don't know, it's just weird.
But you can't, like, usually you can't even walk with an Achilles tear.
No,
Right?
yeah, he was like limping and stuff. It was fine, but you know, it was the like
But why lie about that? That's what I'm saying. Why would they lie about that?
I don't know, but like you know the like the cardinal sign of an Achilles tear, they say it feels like somebody kicked you in the Achilles, right? Mm-hmm. And so as soon as he stepped down, he like looked back to see if somebody kicked him, like incidentally,
Oh,
and all of a sudden bent
weird.
down.
Mm-hmm.
So for a calf strain, you know,
Yeah, but if it's lower calf,
I don't know, it just looked really suspect.
could there still be like some kind of tendon issue, but it's not like a tear?
I don't know. I don't
Why not?
know. I don't
Like
know.
if he felt that, I don't know. Anyway,
will
but
say
you
this.
said you think they play better without him anyways.
I do. I feel like Steph and Clay are always worried about like, hey, you got to get.
Something about their relationship,
Yeah.
their on-court chemistry, like gels better without him, maybe.
Yeah. So now what scares me though is that with Kevin Durant gone, if Steph and Clay start playing lights out, and if Draymond starts playing lights out, that's not going to bode well for Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers.
Do you think that the Trailblazers can beat Golden State?
Yes.
Do you think it'll be in 7 games? You think it'll be a hard-fought
I
situation?
think it'll be in 6 games, and I know that's a stretch. I know this is very difficult, and
I mean, it's impossible to say.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna make it.
It's going to be a long shot, but there's just something telling me that it is Damian Lillard's time this year.
Well, it's really, really. It would be really hard for the Warriors to do it again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This will be if the Warriors win it all. This will be the first time that somebody has. No, it won't.
Scratch that.
Sorry.
But still, I feel like
yeah.
every subsequent year, the odds get
Right.
harder and harder, right?
Plus, now they're going up against the Bucks potentially, or in the Blazers right now.
Right.
There's just something about the way the Blazers play basketball. It's very similar to the Golden State Warriors. They have excellent shooters, they have penetrators, and they they play good defense. So
that's why you think it's a good matchup? 'Cause
no,
their style.
what I'm
is
telling you is
similar?
something completely like it's just a feeling I have that I think it's Damian Lillard's time. I think he has proven that I don't want to team up with other all-stars. I want to be homegrown.
Yeah, we get it. You love Damian Lillard.
I do like him a lot. He doesn't like whine to the
he
refs.
seems like a pretty humble guy.
You know, like his celebrations, like when he hits a dagger of a 3, are so minimal compared to what
Right.
we have in the league. And I just think for some reason like this year that's going to be rewarded. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But on to the team that the Warriors beat, the Houston Rockets. Here's a little history lesson.
Well, here's a spoiler alert for you guys. We don't have a lot of positive things to say right now.
I grew up a Rockets fan. I was born in Houston, Texas. My favorite player of all time was Akeem Olajuwon. You know, he still is my favorite player of all time. Dirk is an extremely close second. But Akeem, was a Muslim player. He would fast during the games during Ramadan. He was very humble. When people are killing other people for Michael Jordan shoes that are $130, Akeem Olajuwon, he was sponsored by Spalding. He came out with a shoe that was $29.99. And I remember they were asking a press conference like, "Hey, you're the best center of all time. You can go to Nike, you can go to Adidas, go to Reebok." Yes, back then Reebok was huge for shoes. And he was like, "Yeah, but there are people killing each other for shoes. I want to make sure that a single mom can buy shoes for all 3 of her kids." And when you hear that, you're like, wow, this is a guy who really sees basketball not only as his career as a sport, but somebody who transcends the game and saying, hey, I can also help people out.
He's done a lot for the local community,
too.
Yeah. And a lot for the local Muslim community as well.
Yeah. And back home in Nigeria. And like, you'll see like Akeem Olajuwon spottings here in Houston. And like, I'm always like 2 steps behind, you know, but, so Houston was like my birth team. All right.
And
I still do like the Rockets. I like the organization. I just don't like this iteration. I don't like James Harden and Chris Paul.
I can't like the organization when this is what they've put together.
Fine. I hate. Okay, the owner's awesome. Tillman Fertitta.
Oh, yeah.
Owns the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. He owns like every seafood restaurant in Houston.
Landry's.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them.
Goods, seafood, whatever, blah, blah. So he owns all these, seafoods and nice restaurants. He owns seafoods. He owns
all of the seafood in Texas.
Have you ever had fish before? Think Tillman Fertitta. But no, and he's a cool owner. But their GM, Daryl Morey, I mean, so I believe it was Kendrick Perkins that had a quote this last week on Houston struggles, right? And I think he tweeted, "Nerds don't play basketball." And that goes to what I've talked about since the very beginning of our podcasting.
The analytics.
You don't do it. It's like these people watch...
It's about more than numbers.
Yeah, it's like these people watch Moneyball. Like, oh my God, I can totally translate that to any kind of sport, anytime. Yeah. It doesn't work always. So, you know what? I don't want to sit here and just completely complain about them because it's annoying. They lost 2 days ago. They're done and over with. But you know what? You know what's funny? Losers have a loser's mentality.
Right. Sure.
And let me explain that real quick. Before the series started, I think it was a day before or 48 hours before, the Rockets submitted a document to the league, and that said, Game 7 of last year, we had our analytics team analyze the game, and we would have had 18.1 points plus based on our findings of foul calls that weren't called.
Who has the time?
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Who has the money to pay analysts to go back a full year, quit bitching, and learn to win a game?
Let it go.
You know what their problem is? It's not analytics. It's not the referees are against them. It's not that one referee who happens to call their games really tough. You know what it is? They don't have any fire at all. You know the problem is? James Harden, who's supposed to be an amazing player, right? When they are in a do or die situation and he's casually walking back to like where everyone else is fighting for the ball. What is that?
As you can see, Missy gets upset with James Harden.
If I were a Rockets fan,
oh yeah, for sure,
I'd be livid. And Chris Paul is no better.
Yeah, I just don't understand how in the 2019 playoffs you submit tape and evidence for 2018's Game 7 loss.
How is that going to help you, by the way?
And do you mean to tell me that? Do you really want me to believe that tape is completely biased?
You mean unbiased?
Unbiased. Do you want me to completely believe it's impartial tape?
If you hire somebody, they're obviously going to be prone to pick your side. Right? It's not like a third party, right? The Rockets hired somebody to do this.
Can I give you a fun statistic? Mm-hmm. How many regular season games are there in basketball? 82.
Oh, God. 82. Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Do you know James Harden, I think has 180 more free throw attempts than the second place person?
Before you just said that I obviously get heated when I talk about James Harden, I was going to say The only time he seems to get fired up about anything is when he thinks he's been fouled, or when he's pretending to be fouled, or when a foul is called against him that he clearly committed.
I think,
and he complains about it.
I think over the 70, I think he played 74 games this year. I think he averaged 11 free throws a game.
And still finds a way to complain.
Okay, yes. Now I understand in game 1 he got his eye clawed at. Fine, I get that.
That was nasty too. That was nasty too.
Oh, it looked pretty
bad.
Yeah, it looked like some animated crap they do in Hollywood that makes somebody look all ghoulish.
Make him look scary.
Yeah, but he shot pretty well after that. Then oh my light, my eyes are so sensitive to light, and I totally get that. As somebody I have constant sensitivity in my eyes.
Here we go.
It's been very difficult, but I've dealt with it. But no, I'm just kidding. But it's always something. Last year's whole thing was, oh, if Chris Paul didn't get injured, we would have won for sure. Well, Chris Paul wasn't injured this time, and for the Warriors, Kevin Durant was out for this game, and he was out for I think a quarter and a half the last game in Game 5.
And it's funny. I feel like everybody was saying, "Oh, the Rockets are going to win.
Yeah.
It's going to go to Game 7. The Rockets are going to win."
Boogie Cousins was out this game. Steph Curry injured his ring finger on his left hand. So his shooting, and you could tell by the whole series, his shooting was off, except for when they needed it.
Right.
Because Game 6, he had 0 points the first half, and I think 31 or 33 in the second half. It was insane, just a barrage of threes. But yeah,
by the way, people, that's how you should be as a basketball player. Not James Harden trying to get points by phantom fouls.
Oh my God.
Even when you're injured, you should push through. And
I totally understand the landing spot foul if you are really in their landing spot when they're landing on a 3. But when James Harden shoots and tries to launch forward 3 feet and purposefully step on your toes.
When his landing radius is 5 feet wide.
Yeah, when
how can you not?
When you're trying to land on somebody's shin and then propel yourself backwards, it gets so obnoxious to watch. It's so frustrating. Anyways,
but that's the difference between Chris Paul and James Harden and many other players in the league. And I feel like that's new basketball.
Yeah.
Try to bend the rules, try to find a way.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
Kevin Durant does it with that.
Yeah.
With that sweep move where he's.
Just because James Harden's the most obvious doesn't mean he's the only one.
Right.
I hate how he throws his head back every time.
Got that beard juice flying.
So stupid. Anyway.
He needs better beard wax. It's you see the juice flying. Because wax.
Don't call it juice.
Beard juice.
Oh, that's
No,
so
because if you
nasty.
put wax, wax is hydrophobic, so the water doesn't stay on the beard.
Can you imagine what that smells like after a game? Oh, God.
No, why? If he shampoos it before and shampoos it afterwards.
Never mind.
I don't think you like James Harden.
I don't.
I said this about 4 or 5 years ago. No team will ever.
Oh, hi.
No team. No team will ever win a championship with Chris Paul at the helm. The guy always had just look at his eyebrows.
He's a big complainer.
Look at his eyebrows every time.
He always looks confused.
They're always oh, what? What
Me?
happened? What? It's always, and he doesn't celebrate, which is a good thing. That's a plus for him. But what he does is complain all the damn time. It's always going to the ref, always saying this, always yelling, always blah blah blah.
Did you see?
I remember
was it game?
I remember one time when he was with the Clippers, and DeAndre. I think it was 8 seconds left or whatever, 4 seconds left, and DeAndre Jordan had a rebound. And he was supposed to put it back up because the clock was running low, and DeAndre Jordan was kind of confused, I guess. And he held the ball. And Chris Paul is yelling at him like his father. I don't give a damn who you are. You don't do that. You're grown men playing.
Grown man.
Yeah, you're grown men playing a grown man's game. Don't yell at me like a child. Are you kidding me? Who the hell are you? You're 5'9", which is. Well, that's still 1 inch taller than I am, but that's small in
little for
comparative
the NBA.
standards.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure he's 6 foot, but
yeah, sure, they're all 6 feet. I was gonna say, was it game 4, maybe, or 3? I don't remember, but where the refs called a foul on James Harden had been fouled, and Chris Paul walked over clapping at the ref.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, probably.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So stupid. Like you said, James Harden is literally the most fouled player in the NBA, and you're sarcastically clapping because he was fouled. This
Yeah.
is what you want to focus on in the playoffs. This is where your mind is.
But this is just it's a loser mentality. It's loser speak.
Exactly.
And
right.
and
but it always gives you an out. That's why.
Right.
They can always blame it on the refs. They can always blame it on the analytics.
but here's how you know that I'm being real and I'm not being a hater.
Mm-hmm.
This happened one other time that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
The Mavericks of 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's the most controversial finals in my lifetime. Dwayne Wade got all these phantom fouls and went to the foul free throw line.
Uh-huh.
You and I were at that game.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up losing the series after being up 2-0, I believe. Mark Cuban did the same thing. He bagged on the refs all off season.
Right.
He submitted tape, and he went on and on and on. And it was Mark Cuban versus the refs. It was Mark Cuban versus the league.
Yeah.
The next season is because they had that defeatist attitude. It's like a virus.
Yep.
The next season, we won 67 games, and we're a damn first-round exit.
Yep.
Because they had that loser-ass mentality.
Yeah.
Poor me.
Yeah.
It's everybody against me.
That's life, though.
That just
right?
happens.
Yeah.
You don't see Drew Brees complaining about what happened. Yeah, he said his thing.
Oh, I'm sure he has, but just he doesn't do it in public.
But in basketball, like these two instances that are so vocal, like, oh man, the refs and we were robbed. Who the hell says we were supposed to get 18.1 more points?
That's never going to bode well for you. Anyway.
They were using like, James Harden is a 89% free throw shooter. So then if he got fouled, it'd be 2 shots. So we need 89%. Are you kidding me?
Ridiculous.
Grow up. Just take the L.
Yep.
It's okay. I've taken L's my whole life.
Right.
It's all good. You
It's
wear it
all
like a
right.
badge of honor and you just keep fighting.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to take a break after that. I'm incensed. I'm mad. But no, in all seriousness, we're going to take a little break. We're going to get into some other stuff, get into some other sports. We got golf coming up this upcoming week. It's going to be an exciting week. So stay tuned. All right. Well, we are back from paying bills, using the restroom, getting some water. Who am I kidding? Diet Coke.
I'm drinking water.
I am a sucker for diet soda.
It's bad for you, man.
My new thing is Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh,
It's so good.
it's so gross.
Um,
It's like what a 5-year-old drinks. It's disgusting.
tell me you wouldn't wish you could go back to being a 5-year-old.
Well, yeah, but I didn't drink Mountain Dew when I
Yeah,
was
you
5
like those bills every month, huh?
No.
You know who doesn't get bills? 5-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is I haven't had coffee in almost a week.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
Man, when's the last time I had coffee? At least like a long time ago.
Anyways, I don't think anybody cares about our personal stuff.
Oh, are we
So,
recording?
Yeah,
Okay.
back to sports. So the NHL playoffs.
Mm-hmm. The stars are out.
Yes,
Oh,
as
heartbreaking.
I've admitted, I am not very knowledgeable with hockey anymore. I stopped following in about 2003, 2004, whenever that strike was, and this is the problem with strikes and all the money stuff is that
Jades you.
well, not necessarily jades you, but once you lose, it depends on the sport.
Mm-hmm.
For me, hockey was still like third in line from football,
Right.
basketball.
You
Maybe
didn't care enough to overcome the strike.
right,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of stopped watching, but I always kind of kept up a little bit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But my heart is a little bit broken because the Stars are out. They lost in the game 7
So
to the
close,
Blues.
too.
But hey, props to them. I swear it. Next year is going to be a lot easier on us, especially with finishing school, especially like getting geared towards career stuff, and we're gonna have a lot
Yeah.
more.
We'll have a brand new baby.
Yeah,
It'll be so much easier.
you say that, but when
I
the
know.
baby was young,
No,
I
so
had a
easy.
blast. I just put the baby on the couch, watch Scarface,
For those
and
of
just
you
relax.
who are in the transition to about to become parents, anyone who tells you that the newborn stage is the hardest, they're liars.
Oh, it's so easy.
It's a beautiful time where you just feed them and overfeed them and they just conk out. They cry a lot, fine, but it's easy to get them to stop.
And it's a quiet cry too.
Oh, so sweet and
Yeah.
little.
Like our 2-year-old.
Oh,
yeah,
she screams.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, jeez.
Especially-
And for like indiscernible reasons.
Oh yeah, and I love the public scream, by the way, too. It makes you
Right.
look like a monster
Yes.
parent, even though you're doing nothing wrong.
Yes. People turn to see why you're hitting your child.
Yeah. No,
Anyway.
don't say that.
Okay.
I don't hit her.
No, that's how she screams. That's what I'm saying.
I discipline her.
No, she screams so loud. Anyway, so it's a newborn is easy.
You know what?
thing.
I did discipline her on the plane on the way from here to Paris. And there was this couple, and they were a young couple. You could tell they didn't have kids. And they looked at me like I was a
always
monster.
the ones that don't have kids.
And I was like, you know what? I can't let my daughter touch this man's hair in front of us.
It was a
for the
like
15th
middle
time.
of the night flight too.
Yeah.
Everyone was asleep, and I came back from the bathroom, and you said, "I just spanked her in front of everybody."
Yeah. So
You felt bad at least.
I did. So if you ever want parenting advice on how to fly with a child,
Call someone else.
talk to us and then do the exact opposite. Don't do a red eye flight. It's the dumbest thing you'll ever do.
God.
I thought I could outsmart everybody. I was like, oh man, she'll just fall asleep in the car. We'll just carry her through TSA checkpoints, all
You
that stuff.
clearly
No
have
way.
never met our child.
Yeah, she does not like to sleep. She's got what I like to call the cursed Ahmad gene.
She's better now.
So
but
all 4 members of my family, we do not sleep. We hate sleep. We don't like to sleep.
and even when you want to sleep, you can't.
Yeah.
It's like a weird. The more tired you are, the less you can sleep. It's very unfortunate.
There are days where I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow's a day
It's
off.
miserable.
It's 2 a.m. I'm going to sleep until 11. And what happens? I wake up at 6:30 just wide awake. And then I
No,
goof
one
off.
of two things happens.
Yeah.
You get no sleep at all and you're miserable, or you conk out for like 12 hours and then you're still miserable because you slept too much.
I kind of wonder if this is why I went gray at like 22
No, I
and
don't
bald
think
at
so.
24.
I don't think so.
Okay, hockey. Be that as
Yeah,
it may.
so, yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, the Blues beat the Stars
Mm-hmm.
to advance to the conference finals. So now we have the Carolina Hurricanes. They're down 0-2 game-wise to the Boston Bruins. And then we have the Sharks and Blues, and the Sharks are the Sharks are up 1-0. I believe they won 6-3. Actually, I'm pulling it
Good
up right here.
Lord, really?
Yeah. Oh man, the Bruins Hurricanes game was 6-2. So it's pretty.
Why?
Huh?
Is it always like that in the end stages of the playoffs?
Not necessarily, but
But that Star Series had a few games where
Yeah.
it was like
it
pretty
was
high
it was
scoring.
intense. Yeah. But I vow next year that I'm going to get hardcore into hockey, and I can do it. I've done it before with cricket. I've done it before.
Hockey's
With,
actually fun to watch.
yeah,
It
I've
is
done it
fun to
before
watch.
with tennis and
Yeah.
everything. So
It's just a lot to take on.
so you're not going to get a lot of analysis here, but we'll keep you updated on the scores.
But
And
we
then-
will add cricket if you
yeah.
guys would like.
Cricket is amazing, by the way. We went to our first game. Do you remember in 2015? Yeah,
Not long ago?
2015. Yeah,
It was super fun.
it was a lot of fun.
Bangladesh versus India.
Yeah,
I
you,
think,
you know,
right?
you, I think so. Yeah, you think those guys, you think like baseball crowds get hype? Dude, these guys go nuts.
Crazy. And those cricket players are crazy too.
Yeah.
That ball's like concrete.
Yeah, it
they
is.
don't have hardly any protection on.
Yep.
It's serious business. They
Another-
just got their like slacks on.
I hate the word bucket list, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it has like a finite amount of items in there.
Uh-huh.
So I hate the word bucket list. But another thing that I want to do is I want to go to like Wembley Arena or, one of those stadiums in
Like a
England
big
and watch
cricket?
like a football match. No, like football.
Oh, football.
Yeah, and I want to, because I hear those guys go nuts. You always see like the
It's
videos.
like dangerous
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
So
like
I want
in
to do
South
that.
America,
I
it's
wanna,
like kind of crazy.
yeah, we'll probably have to leave the kids at the house, but
Yeah,
I do want
let's
to do that.
Okay.
But so anyway, so that's hockey for right now. I swear next year it's gonna be a hell of a lot better analysis and
I
coverage.
think, like I told you earlier, not on the podcast, I think we can probably do better for the finals.
Yes,
It's just like too much
right.
for us not knowing anything about
Right.
it, but we can cover the finals a little better. I
So
think.
guess what comes up this week?
Golf.
Golf. We got another major coming.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
PGA Championship coming up in May. So this is the first year it's happening in May. Usually it's June or July.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but it's gonna be at Bethpage Black.
You said that real convincing, like there was a reason.
There's always a reason. It's gonna be at Bethpage Black. Last year Brooks Koepka was the winner. Obviously, I'll be rooting for Tiger Woods. He's the old man. He's the
course.
legend. I'll be rooting for him. But there's a lot of young players that I will be obviously rooting for to compete as well.
know who I won't be rooting for? Jason Day.
I knew it. I will be rooting
I'm
for.
just being funny.
I'll be rooting for Brooks. I'll be rooting for Jason Day, Ricky Fowler, Dustin Johnson, and obviously Tiger Woods.
You just name like half the people who are playing the tournament.
And maybe Rory McIlroy, but I just don't have a lot of faith in him right now. Justin Spieth, I can't root for him anymore.
Jordan Spieth?
I mean Jordan Spieth, sorry. I can't root for Justin either if that's his brother. But yeah, I just kind of disappointed about him. But yeah,
I mean, let's face it, it's not likely that Tiger Woods is going to do again what he just did.
Keep saying that. That's exactly what I want to hear.
I'm not saying that it's
I
not
want
going to happen.
the whole world to doubt him yet again.
I'm not doubting him. I'm saying it's not likely.
Right.
That's it. I'm talking logic here, not doubt.
Sure. So, anyways, there's that, and I can't wait. So we're gonna have a lot more discussion next week if we can record next week about the winter and all that stuff and what's going on there. So that's pretty exciting. What else? Anything else going on in sports?
No.
No? Yeah. Football, I mean, there's absolutely no football stuff going on. Right now, Dak Prescott is in the middle of contract talks. Ezekiel Elliott's in the middle. He's going to be kind of second fiddle to contract talks.
Kyler Murray's cleats were too small during his first practice.
This is so... Okay, so
that just popped into my head.
50% of me thinks this is a non-story. The other 50% of me thinks like, golly,
no,
it's already starting.
Absolutely not a story. He didn't even bring it up. I saw, and they were like, oh, yeah, the cleats that he requested or something weren't delivered in time, so he had to wear some other ones. I think they were just trying to make a story. Bless his heart. He gets like so embarrassed when they talk to him anyway. He's like so timid and quiet.
So you know how there are tiers?
He didn't even want to talk about it.
You know how there are tiers of everything, like a tier 1, tier 2, right?
Oh, huh?
So tier 1 is like a world-class athlete, like a Kyler Murray, right? Well, I was always in a tier 2, right? Like I was like a step below that. And I'm just saying, if they gave me penny loafers to practice in, I wouldn't be all walking hobbly at the age of 20, whatever. I mean...
These are like... Okay, you're talking about you. These are finely honed athletes. I mean, even kickers in the NFL carry around like 15 pairs of cleats and all this BS. These football players, they have like one pair of warm-up cleats, one pair for this, one pair for that. Like, oh, the wind's coming out of the south and the humidity went up. Get me my other cleats. Like, you can't blame him for that.
I want everybody to know that I went bowling in cowboy boots once. I did just fine.
Not a finely honed athlete.
I went golfing in basketball shoes once. And that is a slippery ass endeavor, by the way. It was dry as hell,
Okay.
but without having spikes. Because I think I left my spikes somewhere else. Well, I was probably somewhere else, and I was traveling. I was like, oh yeah, let me just get these old trail running New Balance shoes, and I'll go. They're basketball jogging shoes, whatever. Man, I was slipping all over the place. I strained a hammy.
Right. To paraphrase, I believe it was Chris Rock. You can drive a car with your feet. That doesn't make it a good idea.
Well, yeah.
Like, just to making the point that you've done it before doesn't mean that you were smart. These are $1 million athletes. They should have the equipment that they ask for.
I'm just saying he should be able to adapt.
That was Chris Rock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a baseball player and a football player. And he can't.
Oh.
He can't roll. He should be able to rock with some, those really, really pointy Mexican cowboy boots.
Oh
The
my
ones that
God.
like point like a foot off your toe.
Why should he have to do that? You
I'm
were
not saying,
ridiculous.
Well,
I actually saw this the other day, and I took a screenshot of it on my phone because I intended to talk to you about it off the podcast. But since we're talking about Kyler Murray anyway, I saw a comparison between his signing bonus in the NFL versus what it would have been in MLB.
oh boy.
So $23.59 million in football.
Right.
It was going to be 4.6 in baseball.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And then, like we talked about at the time, like there's no guarantee you're going to make it through the farm system without getting hurt. Blah, blah, blah. He totally made the right choice.
That's true. But anyways,
I stand behind you, Kyler, and your
nothing
cleats.
going on in football except for the annoying nonsense of certain Cleveland Browns players saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl. They're guaranteeing play. Like this, that's just dumb.
They're going to be the new Patriots.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham said so.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah, baseball is kind of in the swing of things. I hate, like I discussed last time, I hate discussing baseball this early.
I was going to say it's that weird time of the season where like it's too early to say anything.
Yeah, the crap teams do well. The good teams, they start slow.
And the teams that are doing well now will slump and then they'll get better.
So
baseball's too long.
We're probably
to
not
talk
even going to
about.
discuss any baseball until June or July.
Unless some big injuries or something happen.
Yeah, that's true. What else? I mean, I thought we had a whole slate of things.
No, there's not a lot other than NBA,
Yeah.
NHL. There's really not a lot going on this week.
Kind of disappointed in that Kyler Moore story.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
What? He wasn't even complaining. They made an issue out of it. He didn't make an issue out of it.
I guarantee you, Michael Jackson could have moonwalked in Timberlands. And Timberlands, they stick to the ground, man.
Oh my God.
Those are good traction. But he could have still moonwalked.
You know what? Actually, if we have a few extra minutes, there is something else I wanted to talk about. Do you mind?
No.
Just like, so I saw the other day that Adam Silver said that, okay, I'll just read the quote. All right. He was talking about women being referees in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he said, the goal is, going forward, it should be roughly 50-50 of new officials entering in the league. Same for coaches, by the way. We have a program, too. There's no reason why women shouldn't be coaching men's basketball. I know how I feel about this, but you and I actually have not talked about this off mic. We haven't talked about it. So I'm curious what you think, because there seem to be two camps here. Like the people who say, why is it a big deal if women are like objective? Then why shouldn't they be referees? Just like in football or whatever.
Sure.
And then there are people who say, oh my God, can men's sports not just be men's sports? Why do we need women and political correctness and equality and all of this stuff? So
I think women should be responsible for baking pies, cleaning house.
Barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah, no, totally kidding. I see no problem. I mean, the fact that we're discussing this shows that we're still way behind where we should be in society. And I'm not talking about this country. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm not talking about red state versus blue state.
And you're not talking about this house, I know.
Hell no. I'm talking about this world. If I have always been of the mindset that if somebody can do something at a proficient level, they should be able to do it. Now, am I sitting here saying that a female should be a linebacker in the NFL? Well, that's hard for my mind to wrap around.
If you're physically able, why not?
Now, you know me. I've met some burly women in my time that I would never want to go against in a football field.
Yeah.
And I really don't see a reason why not.
But this is I feel like this is way less than that. You're talking about women playing men's sports. That's different. Because then there's there's a whole nother level there, like, because football's a contact sport, and what if she gets tackled, and are the men going to feel uncomfortable tackling her?
And the male, the anatomical composition is more geared towards muscle. Sure. Women have more fat in their body. It's just this is just
physiologically, like that's just. But we're talking about.
Do you like I'm a medical student? I couldn't think of the word physiology. I was like, yeah, this is bio. It's
biology.
Yeah.
But we're talking about making calls. We're talking about seeing
the
a rule being broken.
The reason why I said that about playing is because I don't see it as a big deal for officiating. Officiating,
it should not be.
They're not. Look, we're not talking about like for officiating and coaching. Becky Hammond of the Spurs. I'm not asking her to dunk a ball. I'm not asking her to cross over and shoot a step back three.
No.
I'm asking her to come up with a strategy to beat the opposition.
And why shouldn't she be able to do that?
A female referee. I'm not asking her, to can you throw an out route to Odell Beckham? No, I'm not asking that.
No. She has to know the rules.
Can you throw a 15-yard fade route in the end zone?
Right.
No, I'm not saying that.
No.
Back shoulder fade. What I am saying, if they can have the same vision and call a fair game. And I mean, come on! Look at the
men don't even do that.
Look at the officiating we have now.
Right.
We don't have the most competent referees
in any sport.
And that goes with NHL. There's been controversy this year.
Baseball.
Basketball. There's always controversy. Baseball.
Baseball's always a problem.
The replay system in baseball is a joke. Yeah. It's so stupid.
Well, also
and
too,
we have that in football. It was once again highlighted by the New Orleans Saints game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and even the Patriots game. There's a fake, roughing the passer call on Tom Brady. Like the men that are controlling the refereeing, they're not doing a damn good job either. So who cares?
You know who notices a rule being broken more than anyone else? a mama. That's who. You need to get all moms out
Oh
there.
Lord, here we go.
There will be no more rules broken
I'm
ever.
not, because it's Mother's Day. For the next 4.5 minutes, I'm not even gonna make a comment.
I'm just kidding. But
No,
really,
yeah.
I find it kind of odd that no one questions when men referee or coach women's sports. That doesn't seem to be a problem.
Gino
When
Auriemma,
men-
UConn Huskies, college basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are tons of them.
Yep.
That doesn't seem to be a problem when men encroach in women's sports.
Right.
But when women, and we don't even have a woman asking to do this. Adam Silver saying, I think it should be this way.
And it's not. It's
Like,
not.
why is that some kind of, for some men, like, why does that seem like a violation? We're
Right.
not trying to take over your game.
Yep. The fact that it's called like progressive is kind of silly. It's just
Well, I also like how the NFL tried to be progressive and there's one female referee,
yeah. And I
which
think,
is something, but still, that's
Yeah.
like saying, oh yeah, we're a diverse company. We hired that one black guy.
right.
Like, it's stupid.
Yep.
There's no reason that women shouldn't, and especially, okay, if there is any argument against women being referees, I guess it's that if you're on the court and you get knocked over, maybe you could get injured, but there are old men referees who get knocked down all the time.
Yep.
But there's zero reason I can think of that women shouldn't be coaching in any sport.
Yeah.
Except maybe in football because there isn't a female equivalent, so you can't have a female coach who's grown up playing football, but that doesn't mean you can't have a
Oh
mind
my
for
God!
it.
I just had a very weird picture of a female Bill Belichick, like cut off hoodies
Oh my
and
god,
just that scowl.
no. No, that's not good.
Okay.
Anyway,
no,
I don't know. I was just
obviously,
curious your opinion.
I'm very pro. Like, yeah. I mean, just put them in there. If they suck, then fire them.
But they're not real quick to fire these men that are really terrible at
Well,
it.
okay. So here's the deal. Like, the problems in the world aren't very complex.
No.
There are simple solutions to everything.
we make them complex.
Yeah. So all you gotta do is, why don't you hire? Are we talking about basketball first or baseball
I mean,
or
it was
football?
just Adam Silver who said it.
Okay, so basketball. So
Sure.
well, we have 30 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Hire 5
Coaches, you mean?
coaches or refs or whatever the hell you want. If they suck, you give them one full
Get rid
season.
of them.
If they suck,
Just like
fire them.
Everyone else.
Or demote them to a specialty position, like an assistant.
Right.
Like, hey, you weren't a great assistant coach, you weren't a great head coach, so you're gonna be demoted to the practice coach.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. People get demoted and promoted all the time. So
Sure,
if they
of
suck,
course.
fire them. If they're good, keep them.
But
And stop making it a big deal.
you're right. Exactly. That's the issue, that we're still making it a deal. But
It's
which I
just
guess
like-
I did too by bringing it up.
No, it's like racism and misogyny.
Right.
They're big deals when we keep talking about them.
Right.
When you look at a racist issue and you say, "Oh, screw that, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways." That's when you have actual change, and that's when you have people that are successful.
Right.
And we do the beautiful stories on ESPN or whatever Lifetime about, oh, they overcame all odds. No, that person said, hey, the whole world is this way. They're idiots. I'm going to do it my way.
Right.
I don't give a damn if I'm black, brown, green, yellow, male, female, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So that's my opinion on it.
But it's just like everything else too. Like, I don't remember the actual statistic, but I did read about this one time. Like, for every 500 men who apply to the Umpire Academy for MLB, only like 1 or 2 of them make it through.
And it was
Like,
one or two suck.
It's very, very, very difficult to become an umpire in Major League Baseball.
Yep.
If you have some females in that group and they make it through, why shouldn't they do the job?
Yeah, I'm not even saying.
There's like stringent rules for football, basketball, baseball, everything. Like, it's hard to be a referee or an umpire. If a female can make it through that training process, why not?
In no way am I saying they should even get special treatment. They have to start from square one,
No,
like
they
everybody
absolutely
else.
should not get special
It's just like those females that got through the Navy SEAL program. I'm sorry. Who is the man? Who's
Right.
the man that's going to go there and tell them that they're not good enough?
Right, yeah.
You're about to get a thumb in your eye socket, bro. You know?
They know some crazy stuff.
I have known female firefighters.
Yeah, sure.
I obviously working in the medical field. I've known tons of female army military personnel. I've known female field medics. I've known female, obviously I said firefighters. I've known a ton of female cops.
And you've also known some really amazing male nurses.
Yeah, of course.
It's stupid in
Dude.
2019 to think that there are man jobs and woman jobs.
Watch Live PD, and you see that petite little 5'4" female blonde,
Oh.
who takes down that 6-foot drug addict.
We've talked about on these cop shows before.
Yeah.
Those tiny women are the ones you don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
Because every day they got something to prove.
They probably got a husband at home that annoys the shit out of them, and they're just taking out on every perp. You know what I mean? And it's just this is such a stupid topic. Like I hate this topic because it's so mundane and annoying.
Yeah. Well, sorry for bringing it up.
No.
I'm just kidding,
It's just it's dumb that we're talking about this. Like
you're right. Well, it's
if
sad that Adam Silver had to come out and say, "Yeah, we should make it this way. It should just be that way."
If somebody is qualified, they're qualified.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
Okay. This also resonates with me when it comes to like the pay rate for female sports. Now the WNBA players, they get paid crap, and I understand it. Their
sport doesn't bring in.
They don't bring in the millions and billions of dollars in sponsorship stuff. I get that. However, there is the United States national women's soccer team who has won World Cups before.
They've done a lot better than the men have,
and they don't get any respect. They barely get paid, and all they wanted was some equal pay to our, and I hate to say this, our very underwhelming men's United States World Cup team.
Yep.
Who is always embroiled in some kind of coaching controversy, from Jurgen Klinsmann to Bruce Arenas to blah, 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 to Landon Donovan not being selected to this and that, blah, blah. There's always some controversy. And the women who are out there playing for their country, by the way, this is not like, oh, it's Salt Lake City versus, Kansas State. No, this is the United States of America on a national stage. And it attracts a lot of numbers. Maybe not as much internationally as the U.S. As a men's
national
World Cup.
Soccer is a little different than like Friday night WNBA games.
Sure,
I think.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Right. But anyways, so that's that's a whole fun little topic.
There is also, just on a side note, there is also that thing where like these male athletes ask for more money and they're like knowing their value, but women athletes ask for more money and they're just being like bitchy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are for Adam Silver's statement in this.
Yeah, for sure. but the fact that we're talking about it is so stupid and ridiculous.
I agree. But the fact that it was a story at all is kind of silly. But okay, thank you. I just wanted to know your opinion.
You're welcome. You can send me a card.
I will not.
By the way, you're married to a Texas woman when for Mother's Day, I can put a half gallon of Bluebell ice cream with a card attached to it, and that's good enough.
My Mother's Day gift was in the freezer, y'all.
I got it made. And I bought that at 3:45 in the morning from Walmart.
And it made my day.
Some Bluebell
For
ice
real.
cream.
Yeah.
Because in this household, Ben & Jerry's doesn't cut it. Although their Tonight dough is pretty good. But Bluebell's,
It's not Bluebell.
Yeah, that's what's up. So anyways, so I want to do a new thing as we sign off. Because there's a million stories that happen per week in sports. And we only hit the highlights and stuff that's passionate or that's germane to us and that we're passionate about. And this one's going to be kind of a shorter segment, but we're going to do something called buzzer beaters. And
I think we decided it was going to be called Beat the Buzzer, but
Beat the Buzzer. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, shit. We'll do
whichever you like. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll do buzzer beaters. So what it is, we're going to put up a 24-second shot clock. All right, NBA styles with a Z. And essentially, when somebody brings up a topic, they're going to talk the brunt of that 24 seconds, and the secondary person has a few seconds to rebut, but you got to beat the clock. After that, the topic's dead. Even if I say this is controversial, let's say we talk about this women referee thing, and there's 3 seconds left, and I go, women should never be referees in a man's sport, and the buzzer goes off. That's a dead topic.
We tried this with 5-word filibuster, and you needed like 97 words.
I know.
So we'll see who breaks the 24-second rule first.
You know what? Like, it's Dame time.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. It's Dame time. I'm gonna stick to this. So because it's Mother's Day. Oh, hell no, it's not. No, it's Mother's Day in the West Coast still. I'm going to give you honors.
Are we going back and forth?
Yeah.
Like I'll do a topic, you do a topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I only have 3. So.
Yeah, please leave a couple of seconds on the topic for me to at least say yes.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem here. Okay.
All right, here we go. First one, you're up.
Okay. I think the biggest one this week, for some reason, Frank Vogel has been hired to be the Lakers head coach, and Jason Kidd is going to be the assistant coach. I don't really get this. Frank Vogel is 304 and 291 in his career. So he was fired 2 years into a 4-year contract with the Magic. Is this a good idea?
I don't think it's a good idea, but he did pretty well with with Indiana.
I'm so sorry. That was like the biggest one I had.
All
Sorry.
right, no worries, no worries.
I mean, he did real bad, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right. So last week in the Kentucky Derby, my horse lost for a penalty. What sucks is that Country House won, and they were, I think, at 60-1 odd. So if you put some money on that, you would have made a killing. They appealed it, and without even going to the video, the commission denied the appeal. Is this fair or not?
No, that's not fair. It's ridiculous. And my horse, I bet that they would place, and they showed. Ridiculous. I'm so much better at this than you are.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm just kidding.
It's because you talk so damn much.
I know. I'm sorry. All right. My next one, you'll have more time.
All right, go.
All right, so recently they announced that Thanksgiving NFL games, it's going to be Bears versus Lions, Saints versus Falcons, Cowboys versus Bills. None of these sound interesting to me. I don't get it. What do you think?
Cowboys Bills is great because you got the Cole Beasley factor. What was the other one? Saints versus quick.
Saints, Falcons, Bears, Lions?
Saints Falcons is gonna be excellent. They're division rivals, and what?
Bears, Lions.
Bears Lions. I mean, who cares?
Right,
Bears are gonna
exactly.
kill the Lions.
Who cares about the Bills, too?
Whew,
That was good.
that was. Oh man, I forgot my other topic.
I have one more if you want.
Yeah, okay, you go again.
So there was a report today that Kristaps Porzingis, back in the news, he was in a bar fight, a scuffle in Latvia yesterday. I think yesterday. So apparently there were some Russian folks and there was some kind of fight. Apparently it wasn't his fault. He was jumped. What do you think?
It's what I've always said since I was a young kid. Whatever happens in Latvia stays in Latvia.
My God.
This sucks because I had so much more to say about that. I was
Yeah?
even gonna do like a Russian accent.
Oh, I'm so glad
Like,
that you didn't. You guys can thank us for the 24
Yeah.
seconds.
I will state that allegedly these guys jumped him because
Yeah.
he went from New York to Dallas.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
read that. I just read that he was jumped and then security. And I did read, too, that he yelled, like, mess with me and I'll send you back to Russia or something to these guys. I don't know.
Okay, but would you mess with him?
I mean, no.
Right.
But,
All right, my shot.
oh, you have another one?
Oh, yeah.
You remembered it?
I've got a couple more, actually.
Okay.
It's actually tough with the clock.
It
All
is. Especially because you're showing the clock.
Right. All right. So this Western Conference Finals is going to feature Steph Curry versus his brother, not Steph Curry. So this is going to be the first time this happened for them. And, you know, not Steph Curry called it a dream series. I'm going for not Steph Curry because I'm going for Portland this year. Let me ask you a question. If you're the two parents, what jerseys do you wear?
Oh, one has to wear one and one has to wear the other.
Oh, but
That's
who
it.
or what? Who?
I don't know. Can I just add, because I just need to add something here. I have this theory, because Shrook says that Steph Curry is like the favorite and Seth Curry is like the other one. I have this theory that probably Seth Curry is actually the favorite son, but because Steph Curry is like a little more successful in the NBA, they have to pretend like he's the better one. We'll never know, but that's just my fun little theory.
We will definitely never know.
They both seem like very nice. It seems like a very nice family. Del Curry seems super nice.
Right.
You have another one?
All right.
Okay.
So I implore you to watch the video of Kawhi Leonard's buzzer beater to win 92-90.
Uh-huh.
It hit the rim 4 times. Amazing. So now let me ask you a quick question. Predictions. Milwaukee versus Toronto in the East, and you got Golden State versus Portland in the West. You got 8 seconds.
I'm actually going to go Toronto and Portland.
Okay. I got Bucks and Portland.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, I guess nobody's going for Golden State yet.
I mean, I'm just tired of it, to be honest. We're violating this 24-second rule all over town.
No, we're not.
But I'm just kind of tired. And I have no problem with Golden State, actually. They're very likable, whatever. But it would be nice to see somebody else win. Like, it's really refreshing to not have LeBron James in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
New
for
blood.
Sure. So,
And I only picked the Raptors because I feel like nobody's going for them, really. Like, nobody believes in them.
I have a hate relationship with the Toronto Raptors. Anytime they're ever supposed to win, I bet them and they lose horribly.
What do they say? What do they say in Toronto? Like,
We the North. Yeah.
That's some Game of Thrones shit right there.
Yeah, but you know what's really
We
funny?
The North remembers.
When LeBron James had a buzzer beater to kill him from the playoffs,
Uh-huh.
LeBron James called himself the king of the North. That you got to give it to him. That's pretty sick. That's pretty intense. But anyways, we're gonna wrap up.
When does the next round
midnight
start?
plus 10 on
When do the
Tuesday, I
conference-
believe.
Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay.
So yeah, it's 12:10 right now.
I'm tired, y'all. Go to bed.
I was gonna sit here and say like, oh man, I should go to bed, but I gotta wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to work. Probably gonna watch
Forget
another episode of Game of Thrones.
We got to catch up quick.
Yeah, we do gotta catch up.
Because all y'all spoiling it.
Yeah, so next week there's gonna be tons of spoiler alerts.
What?
No?
No, I couldn't even talk about season 4.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you're going to spoil it for everybody? No, we're
That's
not
true.
discussing. We're discussing Game of Thrones in big, broad generalizations on this show.
We hope y'all had an awesome Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
You know, it's funny, like the older you get, the less, you know, I don't know, it's weird. Like when you're a kid, you know, you're separated from your mom and you start crying and you get sad and all this stuff, you know, or I remember there were a couple of times where my mom would go overseas for a few weeks or whatever, and I'd be like bummed out and sad and blah, blah, blah. And then you go through your like high school and college years, like, yeah, whatever, man.
I'm good.
Yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, it still doesn't get easy, especially for a boy or a man. What was that? I'm not a boy, not yet a man.
I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. That was a Britney Spears song.
Yeah, see. Oh, I did the man version.
Yeah.
I'm sure Justin Timberlake did that. Anyways.
I'm sure he did not.
He's my
He got
doppelganger.
an honorary doctorate yesterday.
Oh,
Him and
nice.
Missy Elliott, I saw.
You know, the funny thing about honorary doctorates is they're bullshit.
He a doctor, you not. That's all I'm saying.
You know who else got honorary doctorates? Bill Cosby.
He did. Not anymore, though.
Yeesh,
Those
yeah.
have been ripped away. Anyway.
Yeah, they can never rip degrees away, right? Like
Not
for-
if you earn it. If
Okay,
it's
okay.
honorary, yes.
Whew. I was gonna
A
say.
license, yes, but not a degree.
I was
don't
gonna
think.
say because I cheated on some of those tests at UNT. I don't want
Full disclosure.
Yeah, I don't want my cell bio teacher to be like, hey, you know what? He copied off.
Remember that idiot I had? Like,
Exactly.
I don't think he really passed.
How did he know all the lab results before they resulted? I don't know. Well, anyways, we hope you guys had a wonderful week.
Yeah.
Awesome Mother's Day. You know, we didn't get to do anything with our families because, you know, we're living away a little bit, but we will reconvene sometime in June and make a count and make up for it. Anyways, so hope you all have a great week. Please enjoy the PGA Championships.
We'll do our best to hit y'all up. When is that over? Sunday?
Thursday, Sunday. Luckily,
So-
I get to get off work early every day, so I can come home and just sit in front of the couch.
Yeah.
You and the kid can go
Buzz
do
off.
something. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be laying on the couch, not eating Doritos,
So
but
maybe
watching
let's
golf.
try to record next Sunday so we can talk about the
Yeah, that'd be
end of
awesome.
that. Yeah.
All right, well, y'all have a great week.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.